I'm back with another album review. For the next part of my album review series, I'll be reviewing the solo albums by Myles Kennedy. Most people know about him for being the frontman for Alter Bridge, but not as many people know about his solo career. That being said, today's review is on Eye of the Tiger. This is Myles' first solo album, and it was produced and mixed by longtime collaborator Michael Baskett, who also plays the keyboard on the album. The album was engineered and edited by Jeff Mall and mastered by Brad Blackwood. The album was released on March 9th, 2018 on Napalm Records, the same label that Alter Bridge and Tremonti are signed onto. In addition to singing and playing guitar, Myles also played the banjo, the mandolin, lap steel, and bass guitar. His solo band also consisted of Tim Turnier on bass, Zaya Udin on drums. What sets this album apart from previous material that Myles worked on is that it incorporates elements of blues rock, which is a major contrast in the hard rock and alternative/heavy metal sound of Alter Bridge. I need to mention that this is a concept album about the death of Myles' father, Richard Bass, who sadly passed away in 1974 when Myles was only 4. Myles' mother did remarry, but I can imagine that it must have been traumatizing for him to lose his father so early in life. This is coming from someone who lost his mother due to cancer 2 years ago. The reason why this album is called Year of the Tiger is because 1974 was the Year of the Tiger, according to the Chinese calendar. 1974 was also 50 years ago as of the making of this video. Now let's talk about the songs. The intro to this album is Year of the Tiger, which is, of course, the title track. This is also the beginning of the album's story, since this is a concept album. A music video was made, and there's a link in the description. The next track is The Great Beyond. I believe this is the part of the story where Myles loses his father, which is, of course, tragic. Simon Dobson handled the string arrangements. We also have Will Harvey on violin, Elisa Bogdanova on viola, and Matty Cutter on cello. There is a music video that was made, and I'm including a link in the description. This is also my favorite song from the album. After that is Blind Faith. The lyrics mention a funeral, obviously being that of Richard Bass. Next up is Devil on the Wall. I think this is supposed to be about Myles trying to hold on after losing his father. This is something I can relate to because I was struggling to hold on after my mom had passed away. Up next is Ghost of Shangri-La. I think this is the part where Myles had no choice but to move on. We followed up with Turning Stones. Myles mentions that he can't let go, and that he has to try. That's followed up by Haunted by Design. Myles mentions that he had been losing sleep, which is something I went through after losing my mom. The following track is Mother. Myles mentions that his mother, Carol, knew what had to be done, and that her love survived. He even mentioned that this album was for Carol, and that he thanked her. The track after that is Nothing But a Name. It looks like this is about Myles missing his father. This is also my second favorite song from the album. The following track is Love Can Only Heal. The title basically tells you what the song is all about. The second to last track is Songbird. The song is about if Myles were to die when he was a kid, and if his mother would be able to carry on. The outro to this album is One Fine Day. The lyrics mention that this day shall fade. I need to mention that the Best Buy version of this album has acoustic demos of Nothing But a Name, The Great Beyond, and Haunted by Design. As you can see, my copy has those bonus tracks. When researching this album, I read that it peaked at number 63 on the Billboard 200, and number 11 on the US Top Rock Albums. As the critics, they really like this album. And now for my thoughts. I think this is a very good album. Out of all the albums that Myles Kennedy worked on, this one is by far the most relatable. He lost his father when he was only 4, and I lost my mom when I was 27. I can see why he decided to have this be a solo album rather than an Alter Bridge album, because of how personal it is to him. Overall, I highly recommend this album. Now's the part where I question you. Have you listened to A Year of the Tiger? If so, what do you think about it? What's your favorite song from it? If you have this album, which version do you have? Can you relate to this album in any way? Let me know in the comments. If you like the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to press the notification bell to notify of future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with another review.